Hello, Chris Day here. I'm showing you this ship, this remodeled ship. It's called Pelican, named after the pelican, the figurehead of the ship. It used to be a sailing ship, and I called it La Tortuga. I didn't like it. It was as big as I Spy. It was 7 feet long and 6 feet tall. Had sails, but it just looked really spindly and just bugged me. So after my show in Pocatello, I brought it home and I remodeled, which I don't generally remodel. I remodeled this one, and then I'm remodeling Disorganized. Anyway, so I like this ship much better. This is one of my favorite ships. I think they're all my favorites, actually. So let's just start. Let's see. So now it's a steamliner or a streamliner. It's an ocean-going vessel, and I mean that's what it looks like. Some of these pieces are the same. So this Pelican came like it was, except for this section. It was like this. It had a clothespin on it, one with this spring, and I guess people used it. It just sat on their cupboard, I guess, and it held recipes. I think it was a recipe holder, in short. And so then I thought, okay, I'm gonna make a Pelican. So I did. I don't know where this came from. I just cut this little knob off right here from something. I made these ears. I had to make they're not ears. Tufts of feathers is what they are. I had to cut these. This is one of those little guys. It's one of these right here. And I sanded or I sliced it. So can you see how it's got that fat belly there, and that's the bottom of it, and the fat belly. I've used quite a few of those. So that's what this is, the pouch. So this is the base, and it goes up. There's the fat belly. Right. And this is just a clothespin. And I also had to make this little hook for the end of its beak, the hook bill. So that's that. And this and this and this and this and this. This top part right here was on La Tortuga. And this was, was this? Sheesh. I think all this section was, and then I added this. This is all new right here. This whole thing is an ammo box that I got again at the Army Surplus store in Idaho Falls. So it made a great box. It's like this great diorama is kind of what it is. This was a candlestick holder. It broke off of here. It's the same as the one over here. I can't touch that or it will fall. This is a candlestick holder. It had a little thing here to hold a candle. So I just stuck those on here, and this one was broken. That's probably why I was at DI. So, oh, this is probably a candy dispenser, but because it's got a weird angle, it goes back like that. This is like square, but I made it look like this is a little, place to sleep. That's a little box for a bed. It's just this little piece of wood with this slit, that cut right there, and then I just took my saw and made these little lines.
Is that wheat?
That is wheat. These handles are little grains of wheat. I don't know where this came from. I just DI somewhere, and it just looked like a decorative thing for a bedroom. And I glued a washer back there to kind of make it look like like a mirror or a porthole or something. just represents things, you know. This, I wanted to make it look like an electrical room that runs the ship. And it does. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I really like it. It makes me happy. There's some switches in here, a couple switches. Yeah. Have no idea what they were too, but. And then those are electrical little. So this little, I think it's a flat battery. It just represents what might be in there. I love this little room, electrical room that runs this ship. And it's got some windows back there. So this is a capstan. This is what they would use to raise and lower the anchor. It's called a capstan. Now, and these are for tying ropes. You know, this is for throwing the rope, you know, whatever. A spool of thread. There's actually green thread under here. I did not make that rope. This board right here is the fish. Is a fish. It's a fish cutting board. Okay, so moving to here. I guess we'll move over here. This is a candy dispenser. This is still intact. This is a jar. Put the candy in here. You turn the candy dispenser upside down. You don't dump it in like that. And got this little knob, and there's a hole. Drops the candy out, hits here, and you hold your hand down here. I had this, and I thought, I'm never going to use that anywhere. It's just too big and bulky, but it looks awesome here. It looks fabulous. Anyway, I like that piece. And this is a little kid's toy. You put the little shapes in it. There's shapes all around here. The back and the front and everywhere. And these little...
Did you make the gingerbread guys?
No. So these are the ship passengers looking out the portals. This was a little ship, little boat. It came like this. It came to here. This was the crow's nest, and then I added this little guy on there.
Cute.
This little thing is a plank, and it's not necessarily that everybody walked the plank. You just walk the plank to get off onto the dock, but they used it to, you know, make people, you know, to kill people. And so this was a cup holder. You'd put your cups on here, and I just screwed it in there.
A mug holder?
Not very tight. A mug holder, yeah, a mug holder. Like, you just sit on your cupboard and put your little mugs on there. Put your ugly mugs on there. And then over here, this is a bookend, and this is the other bookend that matches it. So we'll talk about that later. But this is the end of the barrel that does not have a spigot in it. It goes up, you know, it's on its side. It's supposed to be, right?
Right.
And then little helicopter. Isn't that awesome?
Yes.
I love that. We saw this is the boiler room. Did you get this one already?
No, we didn't do this one.
So this just looks like, I looked things up online, and I pull things out of my stash that look like what I see in the picture. So this is similar to what a boiler room would look like, either on a ship or in a factory or whatever. And this just represents a paddle wheel on a river boat, like on the Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
That just represents that. Like all these things could be on a ship. It just represents a place that people might eat on the ship with a bar, either food or drinks,
so
or
cute.
whatever. And these little golf tees. And I made these look like mugs, but it was just a knob of some kind. And I put this, I can't even explain what that is. I mean, I could, but it'd take forever. This little handle and that little handle. Well, when you drill with a butterfly bit, it leaves this little circle of wood.
And that's what.
That is.
Leftover piece of that.
Yeah. So I just cut it. I just broke it in half or whatever. And these are golf tees that look like cups. And this was a rolling pin, and so it looks like just bottles of stuff. And this looks like a
Cereal.
Well, it looks like it could be either bread or popcorn or just food.
A food bowl.
Yeah, another food bowl, and then just I don't know what that is, just a little round thing of wood I had.
I like the refrigerator.
Yeah, isn't that cool? It's either a refrigerator or a food dispenser. Anyway, that's that room. Oh, and back behind, did you see the portholes? I found a book that had little birds in the sky. Flying past
got
the
them from
clouds.
a book.
Yeah.
Cute. And there's one back here.
They're just to cover,
Decorative.
Yeah, as you can see. This right here, over on this side, that's part of one of those nut. This is part of one of those nut bowls. And the rest of it's over here, but we'll get to that later. So this thing right here is a back scratcher. It's made out of some kind of exotic wood. It looks African to me. I haven't seen any of this type of thing in Latin America, so it probably is African, but African made. These are arms, this is a head, this is a body, and these are really long legs with toes at the end. So this room just represents a sweet kind of, better, more expensive birth. These two things that look like lights were actually one piece. Somebody had carved them so that had this ring around it, and they were one piece, and I just cut them in half because I needed two of them.
Oh my gosh, can you add light to it?
Yeah,
Right here.
oh,
This little spot. Those are so cool.
yeah, it was really cool. I buy things and I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but if I didn't have them, I couldn't use them. This was a box lid. Yeah, it looks like a bedspread. Yeah,
It's cute.
it is cute. And then this is a rug. It's supposed to be a rug. And back here, I think it's the other part of this box. And I cut it and then I glued. I just rearranged the wood. And then in the back, that is an electric pole, like a utility pole for a little map or a train set or something. But here it's a closed tree. Oh, this is the other part of that. This is the other part of this. And then here's a little drink, and here's your TV.
Right.
A broken, what is that, an iPod? And then over here, up above the bed, it's just a computer component that looks like a piece of art.
Right.
That
Awesome.
makes me happy too. This is a happy room. This is a happy room. This is a happy room. They're all happy rooms. They all make me happy. This is like it was on my other ship. Do you need this light?
No, not right now.
This box is, you'll have to come look. I love this little chain. Had no idea what I was gonna do with it, but Anyway, I took some of the links out so it would fit on here, but if you move these, this boat is actually a dispenser for shopping bags. It's useful. That's what this was.
Oh,
It was shopping bag dispenser. This thing, it had 4 hooks and these pegs and what else? Oh, that's all. So somebody put it on the wall this way and use it for hooks and pegs, and I don't know what was up here. I don't know. That's all it was, I guess. So I put that on here. It almost reminds me of Santa's sled.
Right.
And this is the other part of that, the nut cracker bowl. Yeah, this goes across the bowl, and then this screws down and cracks the nut. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
And then I wanted to, add fishing line, so because fishing boats, and so this is a spool. It's a cannon. This is some kind of spindle with candle holder, and then these 2 things back here that are holding it. See, it can move up and down. It's high tech. This is for toilet paper roll. Again, I find a bunch of those. And this railing here is the dish drainer. That wooden dish drainer. And here, candlesticks for the cannons. Back here, this was a hairnet. I think I got it at a motel. I didn't use it, I just took it home. And these are to represent floats. These little beads come off of one of those seat covers made out of all these little tiny pieces of wood. So back here at the end, this is from a coat hanger, a coat tree, clothes tree. I have one in the garage that has this exact thing on it. This is a fireplace tool holder. I have no idea what to call it. It's like a tool kit for fireplace, poker and brush, and well, when we videoed the Wild Wild West, but it has this same exact thing on it, but smashed, so that if I smash this, all these would stick out like it was some kind of gear. Because every ship needs lights at the back. But it's a speedboat. I mean, it's got
So it could be
like
fast.
jets. It's a jet, yeah. This is my favorite corner of the ship. I love how it represents everything nautical on the dock and what is happening there. And so these pylons, these came on some wall hanging. And the oars and the net for the fish net, captain, and of course the parrot and this cage. I just found that cage at DI. It's just the perfect thing. This parrot I stole from, it's an Ecuador carving, and I don't know if it says on the bottom of it where it came from, but isn't that beautiful?
Right, it's cute.
And then this, I found some kids' books that had ocean water, had pictures of paintings of illustrations of an ocean and the shore. And so I just stuck them in these portholes. This represents a compass. But back here, this whale, because this is the land, and so there's a whale off in the distance. And that whale, was like that, except this water, my dad had cut out this piece of wood he was practicing with his scroll saw. I talked about that on heirloom. He was always practicing making stuff, but never made, well, he did make some trim with his, but that wasn't his scroll saw. Anyway, that's where that came from, and I had to make the scallops on the whale so we'd fit in the water. And then right here, these are napkin rings. Again, wooden nickels for the lids. I found this little sailing ship. No, I didn't find this little sailing ship. I made this. It's been so long. I don't know what this piece of wood is, but that's how it was.
Toilet.
Something to have to do at the bathroom. I don't know. Could be. And then these are just little wooden blocks and a dowel. So I just made this little ship. Right here, a cap, rack. Again, there's the other one. I think the other one is on I Spy, and it has that Viking ship on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what that is. And then a little ducky, little brass ducky. This was just a piece of wood. I don't know what it was. And here's this feels like a chopstick because it's square. And this was the skirt of a doll or a little girl. So this is where her head would be over here. And so this is the bottom of her skirt, so she's sideways.
She's this way?
Yeah, so it looked...
She's like...
Yeah, this is where her head is supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah, so it looked like a sail, so I just stuck it on there. And this was on some kind of nautical piece of curio thing.
That's perfect right there.
Yeah, doesn't that look great? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did not make that. But I made this up here. This is more of that water that's this same that the whale was on. And this is probably just a little piece of wood I cut off from something, or
You made
it came
Moana
like that.
before she even came out.
I did.
That's hilarious.
I am the creator. I think this was, no, I don't remember what it is. I think this is gingerbread feet. And this belly, oh, I don't know, some kind of bead. And these are little pegs. And her head is an upside down little pot. And her hair, I have no idea. I have no idea where I got that hair. This oar that she's using, this is like the tip of a skewer, a bamboo skewer. And these are wings of a bug. They're little bugs that I bought that came with something, and that's the wings of some little beetle. And this is just a stick. So this is an outrigger canoe with this Moana and her paddle on the ocean. She's fearless.
Right.
And are we almost done? So this is the other half of that bookend. It's bookends. And I just love wood. I love metal. I just love the look of it. And I bought it. I had no idea what I was going to do with it. I bought the 2 bookends. Every sailor's ship needs some ale or whatever they put in that. This is a violin peg, tuning peg. And this is, I actually made this I made this. It had one in it, but it wasn't good enough. So I put this little peg thing in here, and I drilled a hole through it, and I put a violin peg in it, and it looks like a, Oh, and here's this. I found this. This is a real float, an actual authentic float, but I found it I think I found it in San Francisco with another float that was on top of my other boat. It was up here on one of my ships.
Oh, you painted it black.
Yeah, I painted it kind of a brownish.
brownish color.
Yeah, I antiqued it. But this came from the same place. I don't know, maybe I had to buy it. But they don't use cork. Well, I don't know, maybe they still use the cork, but they had a whole warehouse full of this kind of thing. So they use plastic. That's what they use nowadays. So that just represents the life saver. And then this represents the waves. Yeah, it's awesome. And there's another one. This is on what? Is this on I Spy also? This was a gun rack. And here's my brand. Chrissy Day. Oh, I didn't mention these.
What?
They're just this
Oh,
little
yeah.
trim right there. It's really cool.
It's cute.
It's also clothespins. Those, wooden clothespins. I just cut them in half. Just put them, they almost look like little ants following each other. But yeah, it just needed a trim there, so
You made one.
yeah, I did. Yeah, so when you can't tell what these things are unless you look really closely. And then it amazes you. So whoever lasted this long, clear to the end, congratulations. But I think it's worth looking at. I love talking about it, and it just is an amazing piece of art. These ideas come, in through my head and out my hands, and they're not mine. They're from out there. But anyway, thanks for watching. Ciao.